Hello everyone and welcome to our show. Today we discuss about email marketing, how you can win this
Woo!
game, because I know with email marketing you can sell a lot to get
Yes.
real great results. I know that many people proclaim that it's obsolete today because all marketing channels started from email marketing many years ago, like 30 years ago, but it works well today. I think it's better to know the way how you can get results with that. That's why I decided to discuss this topic with Alif Huq. How are you?
What's going on? I'm doing well. I love your energy, man. You're so excited about email marketing. I mean, I get excited about email marketing too, so I don't blame you. The energy is coming from a good place, but I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure. Before we start, I want to introduce our sponsor, Ahrefs, SEO tools and resources to grow your search traffic. And if you want to get SEO traffic today, you need to consider this tool because it's almost must have. I think Google Analytics, Google Search Console are must have, but SEO tools like Ahrefs, if you are serious about this game, you need to consider. By the way, Alif, do you use Ahrefs?
I don't do a lot of SEO work, but when I was working in in-house marketing roles, Ahrefs was definitely a big tool that helped me find the right keywords to target and all that. So I am very familiar with Ahrefs. Congrats on the
Nice,
sponsor.
nice. Yeah. Okay. Before we start, you spoke on my podcast one time. It's a big pleasure to get you second time. Before we start, just remind about yourself, your experience, background, and tell more why companies need to consider email marketing today.
100%. So my name is Alif. Fun fact, I'm a hip hop dancer too. So I trained with a bunch of dance teams, had my own dance crews and things of that nature. That's always fun. Beyond that, in terms of professional work life, I'm a freelance content marketer, specifically now niching down on email marketing and providing email marketing services to a lot of my clients. I'm working with a lot of software companies right now, agencies, and also a lot of solopreneur businesses, helping them with their email marketing and a bit of social media content creation stuff. I've worked in multiple number of in-house marketing roles and also on the agency side. So I have a lot of in-depth experience when it comes to the day-to-day tactical side of marketing. But I'm really excited most about email marketing, mainly because a number of things. Email marketing, you can personalize the whole customer experience depending on where the customer is at in their buying journey. You can send a different email to someone who just subscribed to an opt-in page to buy a product compared to someone who just signed up for a newsletter who's just kind of somewhat interested in your product, right? There's a lot of personalization element, and I'm sure we can go into a lot of it later on in this interview and everything. But the number one thing really that excites me about email, and this is the true honesty, and it's why I love it, is the ability to tell a story in order to persuade someone to take an action in an email. The craft of writing a good email that converts is something I just obsess about. I'm very nerdish about. So I'm really excited to go into the geeky goodness of email in this presentation.
Nice, nice. Okay, I want to start from the first question. Why some people proclaim that email marketing doesn't work today? They think it's obsolete technique and they can't get results with email marketing. But when I check out online studies, I can find information that email marketing brings 44 times more than expenses that you can spend on this marketing channel. Can you tell how to change opinions of these people and why they're thinking like this?
Yeah, 100%. So when you consider like the funnel overall, this is how I see the relationship between social media and email marketing, right? I feel like with social media, it's more higher end of awareness aspect of the funnel, right? You're trying to build awareness that your brand exists, or maybe you have an offer coming up. But if you go further down the funnel, I believe in order to get the conversions of making someone, buy your course, buy a product, book a demo or a free trial, whatever, that stuff happens generally, in my opinion, in email. And I'll give you an example. So let's say you're trying to get more demos for your software, right? You can post on social media, Instagram, a Canva picture with a nice graphic, try our demo today, and then you post on Instagram and maybe you have like 200 followers, and an Instagram algorithm will maybe basically push down your post on feed and everything, and therefore maybe like 5 people might see it, and then let alone how many people are going to click the link in your bio to actually go on the landing page, right? You can imagine what that's like, right? But let's say they do go on it, right? The odds of them going back to your social media account and being like, oh, by the way, I forgot to sign up for a free trial 5 days after. Let's go back on their website, type the URL in, and sign up for a demo. The odds of someone actually doing that is going to be very, very slim. And that's why I feel like conversions happen at the email marketing side. So, for example, they come to your website, they sign up for like a lead magnet or an email newsletter, whatever, right? You can then send them recurring emails, like 1, 2 day, 3 day apart, promoting a free trial, and you can sell it to them. So it's not just like, hey, sign up for a free trial. What you can do is, hey, look at this testimonial. Hey, here's a piece of value. Hey, I know exactly what you're going through, and this is how our products helps to, solve your issue. There's different angles you can now approach getting that prospect to sign up for a free trial. Whereas social media is like, post this, hopefully the algorithm gets enough reach on it, and then I pray to God that this works. Whereas email, you can get the subscriber and then send them very targeted emails with different angles and messaging in order to actually make them convert. So that's my perspective on that. Also, just a heads up, Anatoly, there's like sound effects in the background. I think you have a vacuum going on.
Oh, yeah. I need to close the window. Okay, I'll do it after the second question.
Yep.
Thanks for telling about this. I'm interested, once I check out information that companies can't get the right subscriptions users on their email list. For example, if they, I don't know, like change subscription with sharing ebooks or any other stuff, this audience they doesn't want to buy, because they subscribe because of ebook, but when they sell their products, it doesn't want to buy. Can you tell how to decide this problem? Do we need to consider such methods when you replace ebooks or any other stuff, free tools, with subscription, or it's better to find another way to gain email list?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have a couple of thoughts on this topic, but essentially the idea here is this. When you're trying to create a lead magnet in order to get leads and then convert them, before you even do any of that, you need to first have a piece of paper. On one side of the paper, write like starting point, and on the other side of the paper, write end point, right? The end point being they buy your service, right? And at the left side, what starting point, you need to understand exactly where they are in the customer buying journey before they actually make a purchase. So, for example, let's say you're software that helps fundraisers get more fundraisers or nonprofits get more donorships, right? First, ask yourself, okay, if I'm a marketing director at this fundraising company, where am I in this customer journey? Oh, I don't even know that I have this problem. Oh, wait, I don't even know that our brand exists. Oh my God, there's so much educating that needs to be done before I even try to sell them on our service and our offering or try to get them for a free demo. So instead of just being like, hey, here's an ebook that'll help you do this, now sign up. Instead, what you want to do is look deep down at where the customer is at generally in the buying journey and create a lead magnet specifically tailored to exactly what the customer needs at that point. And then via emails and a series nurture sequence, nurture that customer or that prospect along the customer journey. So you almost kind of push them through to the point where they actually sign up for a free trial or demo. So let's go through a tangible example. Let's say you want a customer, they have no idea what your product is. They don't even know where that their pain exists. So your lead magnet or checklist might be around, in this case, let's say you're trying to sell a course on how to clean windows, right? The lead magnet might be why cleaning windows can get really pricey or something. I'm making this up top of my head. When you send that to them, now they're like, oh, wait, this can get pricey. Oh my God, I need to find a solution that actually makes it cheaper. Then the next email in the series, when they opt in, can be like options to, find cheaper window cleaning services. And now they're like, okay, so I know the pain exists and I see what's cheaper. And then you send an email being like, by the way, or you can just go with us. It'll help you get cheaper window cleaning and blah, 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 blah. And at this point, the prospect's like, okay, I now know I have this pain and I know the cheapest solution there. And this solution literally makes sense. So let me just go into it. So you notice how the whole buying journey is very tailored to where the customer is at. So that's how you want to approach a lead magnet or just like a nurture sequence in general.
I think it's another level, when you
It's a lot of
share
work.
all this. Yeah,
It's a lot
it's
of work.
another level. Like high level, because I know that it's. Can you tell more about sending a few emails before selling products? For example, uh, uh, we use some methods with like we send one email a week. In most cases we share information about our YouTube video or a new blog post, and
Mm.
once a month we can send email with discounts to our products. So if you want to buy, we can share discounts, and we are not trying to oversell, at that point, because we know that we gain all these people on our blog or with many different channels. Can you tell how to find this balance between selling, call to action, and sharing some info content?
Yeah. This is something I've been really thinking about a lot, and obviously there's a lot of blog posts on like exactly like the types of emails to send, links to blogs or YouTube videos or webinars, all that stuff, right? But in my opinion, I almost feel like there's like three types of content, okay? And I think it's important to do them right. So first is the sales stuff, right? Like, oh, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Here's a case study, buy my stuff. Here's that small buy my stuff, like the sales stuff, right? Then it's the value stuff, like the links to the YouTube videos or how to do this, how to, right? But I think there's a third piece that needs to be very much considered a lot more. And I think this is way more important. And that's personal stories. So, for example, with my personal email lists, right? Instead of just always saying how to XYZ, how to XYZ, I actually share more personal, vulnerable stories of something maybe I'm kind of going through and then how I'm overcoming it and what I've learned. Or, I recently took a trip to Florida and Los Angeles, and instead of sending email newsletters being like how to do this marketing tactic, how to execute on this marketing tactic, I actually sent them like updates about my trip and pictures of me posing next to a Ford Mustang on this beautiful beach. And I'm like, hey, look at this. This is pretty cool. And this is what I learned from my experience. All these things I did uh, adds to my character and makes me feel like an actual human being rather than like a branded company trying to like promote stuff like YouTube videos, knowing that they're gonna sell something to me in the future. One thing I've realized is people can sense intention very, very well, and to the smallest degree, and they can smell that through your content. So even if you're sending content around how to do SEO, how to do this, how to do this, they fundamentally still know you're just technically trying to nurture me for a sale. Like they can sense it, right? But to break them off from that intent, I like to always incorporate me in the emails and in what like my stories and what I'm personally going through. So then people don't just see me as like, oh, this guy's sending me an email, and 3 emails later he's gonna try to sell me something. It's more like, oh, I wonder what Alif's up to. It's pretty cool that he's keeping us in the loop with his journey. And in fact, doing this approach gets me way more email replies than if I were to be like, how to achieve XYZ in 30 days without blah 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 type of thing. Um, anyway, that's a little more high level and more technical, but it's just something I've been kind of reflecting on lately.
Nice, well explained. And you mentioned a few times about customer journey. Can you tell how to create this customer journey for email list?
Yeah, for sure. There are a couple of ways you can do it. The most optimal. So Dan Kennedy, you guys probably know Dan Kennedy if you're in the audience, if you're a part of your audience.
Mhm.
He said something very interesting in an interview. He's like, you always want to find a message to market fit, and he gave us a really good example. And he's like, let's say you're trying to sell golf clubs, right? And specifically you're trying to sell a golf club to a person who has one arm and one leg. I'm paraphrasing this. Instead of in the email saying like, oh, buy a golf club, if you say this is a golf club for people with one arm and one leg, the person who has the one arm and one leg is going to be like, oh my god, that is for me. Like that, this is so perfect. They probably won't even care about the case studies, testimonials, or all the reviews or anything. They'll just be like, that is so for me. Let me look into that, right? Compared to the other email that says like, oh, buy my golf club, right? And he really highlighted the message to market fit. So the closer we can get to that, the higher our conversions. But the question is, how do we do that? Personally, for me, what I like to do is a couple things. I'm gonna share some tactics. First, obviously, interviewing clients and customers. So sending an email, hey, I'll give you this if you can spare 15 minutes of your time, and asking very deep strategic questions. Asking them exactly where they were before they bought, how the thing helped them achieve their goals, all that stuff, right? There's that. But let's say like you don't have time for that, or like you're just too busy, and like you know, like it's a lot of work to do that, right? What else can you do? Here are a couple of tactics you can do. Obviously, you can send them a survey link to a Google form, to email list, be like, hey, what do you struggle with the most? And then just have some prompting questions, and in exchange, maybe give them something in return. Maybe it's access to a blog post or an ebook or something of that nature. That's one tactic. What I like to do sometimes is I learned this. It's called Amazon review mining from copy hackers. If you guys are familiar with copy hackers, and the idea here is this: let's say I'm trying to sell an SEO course. I'm making this up, an SEO course, and I need to know exactly what SEO people struggle with the most when it comes to doing SEO. That way, I can tailor my message accordingly. What I can do is go on Amazon, search up like an SEO book, go on the reviews and just read through a bunch of reviews, like a book after book after book. That alone will give me a really good understanding of like, oh, so this is what they're talking about. This is what a lot of things are missing. This is what a lot of people are missing. Or maybe you can go to other courses and read their reviews and be like, oh, this is what they're looking for. This is what they're not looking for, blah, blah, blah. That alone will give you like a good sense of where things are at. Other than that, I also love to go on Reddit and then like forums and discussions. Those are like some really juicy stuff. And also very niche Facebook groups tend to have a lot of juicy stuff in the comment section as well. So check those out.
Yeah, nice. I agree with that because the era of lazy marketers is that today. When marketers or webmasters are looking for some questions on SEO tools, they need to understand that thousands of others can look that way. And in most cases, Google customers can search this information on Google. They don't need any help with that. But on Reddit or Quora or any other websites, people ask questions that they can't find on Google. So yeah, I love I love your sharing about that. So you can send something unique that people have struggled today, pain points, so you can help with that. Yeah, nice technique. Okay, can you tell more about your Lavian tools? Which tools do you use? Because we have a bunch of tools today. Many of them are great, but all of them have advantages, disadvantages. Can you tell which tools work for you and why?
Yeah, and I think it really depends on your business and where you're at. So, for example, a lot of my clients, these are like agency levels, or they're like software companies doing like 5 million in ARR, right? Like the needs of that person is going to be very different than someone who's a coach and doing this coaching business as a side hustle. So, I'll address two of them. So, in terms of like if you're like a tech company and everything, and you're doing really well, you have a bunch of contacts you need to filter through. I love HubSpot. I use it like every day. It's very intuitive. I almost feel like it's funny. In my last full-time role, I was like pretty much managing HubSpot. I looked through all the things I can do, and at one point, I had the moment to myself where I had to take a breath, and I'm like, I'm a magician. I can do anything because it's cool because you can send specific emails based on where people are at, what company, what country they're at, and then which page on your website they visited. So you can imagine someone from Poland who read a blog post about why SEO sucks or something. You can send an email about that alone. Like that's how tailored you can get with HubSpot. And I was like, the world is in my fingertips. So, but that's like very expensive. Like that's like enterprise level tools. So HubSpot, I will always be a rep for. I love HubSpot. But if you're like, let's say, doing a side hustle and you're a course creator, you're a coach, maybe even you're like a freelancer right now, what's a good tool for you? I personally love ConvertKit mainly because they're so intuitive. Now they have a free trial, like they have a free period for like I think 1,000 subscribers or something, and that's more than enough. And it's just very, very easy to use. ConvertKit. So look up ConvertKit. That's the one I would always recommend to anyone who asks me. Myself, for me, I'm using get response. It's pretty good. I like it mainly because the landing page is kind of, I can like mix and match the landing page and tailor it to my branding and all that. So that's nice. But in the past, I've also used like Infusion. They changed the name. I think Infusionsoft. They changed the name. Active Campaign, Mailchimp. Obviously, my clients are using Mailchimp too. I've had a lot of clients working with that. Various email marketing softwares, but ConvertKit for the novice, and if you're enterprise level, and I guess you're watching this, HubSpot is my go-to.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's popular too. Uh, okay, I have the question about AI. What do you think? It's a good idea today to use AI when you say crafting emails or writing text for email marketing, or it's better to do this job manually? What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, well, I've seen like really weird videos where it's like an AI, you put in two words, like an astronaut in space, or like a
Mhm.
cow in space. If you just write two words, it literally paints a picture for you, like an image, and it looks so good. And I was like, holy, this is the level AI is coming. I've also seen like a AI that does the graphic design for you and even copy for you, right? Now here's my thing with AI. Okay, when it comes to like copy, and messaging that's tailored to an audience, there's still a level of humanness that needs to be there, right? So first of all, you need to understand your customers pain points really well and know exactly what they are and know what the conversation is in their heads, and based on that, then you write emails accordingly. Now the problem I feel, at least right now, with like tech and AI and automation, is that it's a very cookie cutter approach. It's almost like a templated thing. They'll have like a templated headline, the ultimate guide to blank to achieve blank, right? And those are good, but it's not going to be the most effective in terms of the conversion optimized standpoint. I spoke with a lot of copywriting coaches and everything, and all of them say like, they all try to avoid templates and things of that nature because not every situation is very cookie cutter. My fear with AI is like they're gonna treat situations like cookie cutter type of things, and that's where I feel like that's a disadvantage. Unless it gets to the point it's so good, it does all the research, all the wording, and all that for you. That's a whole nother level, and then I'm gonna lose a job eventually. I hope it doesn't get there in a weird way. Those are my thoughts, though.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I'm using AI tools, but I edit manually all getting information. So yeah, I can get text, but if you don't edit, it's better to avoid such text. You can
Agree.
optimize the process, the whole process, to get the complete job. You can try it to review some tools, to find them online, to learn which tools will work for you. But I'm not sure it's a good idea to use these tools today.
Mm,
Probably tomorrow, I don't know, or for a few weeks,
who
they will
knows?
replace people. Yeah, but today, yeah.
Which
Uh,
tools do you use? I'm curious.
I like
For SEO,
Reader
right?
Me. Yeah, not only SEO, to write descriptions for my, even for this podcast. Yeah, I wrote description with AI tools. I usually use rytr.me.
Okay.
It's a great tool. And I'm going to create a tool to create content for the entire website. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm going to use openai.com. Yeah, it's the best tool for. I mean, like it's a great tool when you wanna to get. I mean, like to create content for many pages, for many keywords. But I don't know why, but
Mm,
reader.me works for me if I create only content for specific keywords. We have different mood, for example, like informational, angry, anything, like I don't remember exactly the number. It's like 30 or 50 different mood, styles, informational, friendly, official.
mm,
And it's better to test out many different keywords because sometimes you get complete nonsense. But when you play, sometimes play
mm,
different combinations, you can get good quality text, and everything you need to do just to edit. Spend time to edit, and you
mm,
can get good results with that. Personally, I save so much time with that because, for example, if I write content from scratch, I can write like 2,000 words a day, and I'll spend 8 hours. but with AI tools, it's possible to write 20,000 words a day, like 10 times more
Ooh.
with editing. When you edit text, when you provide, I don't know, like to add some information about unique insights, because AI tools can use your personal experience, to personalize the
Mm.
message. So yeah, I think it's good to consider
Mm.
today, but they're not ready to replace human. They're ready to help humans, like to save time.
Help humans, yes. Okay, I will message
Yeah,
you afterwards asking you for links to that. So there you go.
yeah,
You're
I
using
can
AI.
I
That's
can type.
awesome.
Yeah, I can type here. Everyone can use it. I use this tool. Uh, Guys who are listening us on Apple, Google, Spotify, you can find the description below. And I think this tool, openai.com, it's the best tool for creating content for many pages. For when you customize the whole website, for example, if you have like 10,000 pages and you need to create content for them, like descriptions, anything, yeah, you can use OpenAI. Just yeah,
Perfect.
it's better to
There you
read.
go.
We have, for me, it's better to review all of them on Google. For example, type on Google AI tools, read reviews. We have many good list of reviews. It doesn't mean that these tools are the best, but I use them. I like the experience of using them. It works for me. I know that some people tell me about other tools. They are great as well. So it's better to learn more and find which tools will work for you. But
Mm.
I wanna highlight. Uh, don't think that AI tools will replace you. They can help you, but not. They are not ready to
Uh-huh.
replace.
There we
Okay,
go. There you go.
yeah. I remember in the first podcast you shared that you like to write long content for email marketing. But when I read books about email marketing or blog posts, they highlight you need to write short emails because people have no time to read short, long emails. They like have, I don't remember, like 60 seconds. And if they get a long email, they can avoid it. And you know what I like more? In marketing, you need to stand out from the rest. If you can create long content that people will read, it's great. The chance that we will sell products, will increase a lot. Can you tell how to write long emails and get results with that?
Yeah, exactly. So on the argument, short versus long emails, I think the conversation should be more about it should be more around an email should be as long as it needs to be, right? Like it's
Mhm.
not about specific length. It's as long as it needs to be, whether it's long or short, right? So it's not just always short necessarily, but as long as it needs to be. Now, for me, I personally like long because I just like writing. It's something I really enjoy. And there's certain tactics I realize that work really well. So if you want to get a long form email actually like read and maybe replied to you or get the CTA clicked at the bottom, you the way I write my emails is when I use copywriting tactics is I try to always hold suspense throughout the email, and by the end of it I release the suspense, right? So for example, I wrote an email about meeting a LinkedIn influencer and how I went about meeting a LinkedIn influencer, instead of just being like, hey guys, cool, I met a LinkedIn influencer, here's a picture, bye. Like instead of doing like that, actually wrote like a pretty long story. And basically for that email made the subject line like washrooms. The subject line was literally washrooms, and that's it, right? So you can imagine someone gets an email in the inbox, washrooms, like what the hell is that? Like, why is there a washroom, right? And so that alone okay, suspense is caught, click in it. All right. And then from there, you want to keep holding the suspense for each line to line to line, instead of going on a random blurb about random things. So in this email, for example, I was like, let me tell you about the worst experience I had in a washroom. Back when I was working at this job, there was a specific washroom I'd escape to every time I hated my life. And during breaks, when I hated my life, I would go to this washroom. Then one day I realized I had enough of this 9 to 5 life because I couldn't do it. So I wanted to start a career coaching business, but I was struggling. I didn't know how to do this. And it's like the suspense, like, okay, so where are you going at? Where are you going at? Where are you at? And I tell a story of how I met a LinkedIn influencer who taught me about career coaching, and I started a side business. right? And it's all about like reframing the story so the suspense is held throughout the post or like the email or whatever it may be, until at the end that's when you actually deliver like, oh, the final like climax of the story or the email or the call to action, if you will, right? So
Mhm.
that's how I think about. I know it's very high level. Obviously, I'm not going to the nitty gritty. I'm just keeping it very high level. But that's what I feel like goes into a really well written long form post, email, or description. Capturing suspense, holding it, telling like a very visual story that where the person's eyes are glued to the screen, like what's next, what's next, what's next, and then paying it off near the end, which then you can associate with the call to action. That's how I like to
Mhm.
approach it. That's just me, though.
Mhm. Yeah, nice. I want to ask about creating content for email. For example, if I write a blog post, I usually use infographics, pictures. I can add video content, but for email, I know that some people can ignore such emails with multimedia. When they open, they think, "Oh, it's promotion. I'm not interested with that." But if you write like just text, you can feel it's from your friends, family, I don't know, customers. Yeah, it doesn't look like promotion or overselling. Can you tell how to find this balance? Because big companies are using multimedia on their emails. I know some companies that use only text, it works well, but it's hard to find the balance if you have no results, if you start, for example, from scratch.
Right. How do you find the balance between managing a person like a branding and then going for plain text, just straight up like as if it's a friend,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, totally. It's interesting. I'm working with a client right now. They're an agency, and when they're doing their emails for their clients, it's always pure bare bone text. Like it's almost like ridiculous
Mhm.
when you open their HubSpot and see their emails that they write for clients. It's like, wait, this is it? And it's just like white and then text, 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 and even like the address and then at the bottom of the email is pushed down, 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 down. So it literally looks like white and black text, and that's it. And they tell me like this is converting for us, and this is converting for our clients, and this is what we're gonna stick with because it performs, right? But I've also had the issue where, like, for example, I'm working with another client. They're very particular about their brand. Like they want to know, like, at the top, I want to have this header that shows me like this, and then over here I want some images because I just like it. Like they just purely just like it, right? So, I don't think there's a hard like rule to this, right? I think the key is more about like the quality of your content at that point than worrying about the nuances of if I should add a picture or not, right? Because the truth is, if you have quality content people connect with, and you give that high value content on a consistent basis, people will naturally, like, be enticed to open your emails regardless if you have a banner or if you have 3 image or no image, right? The quality of the content is what should matter the most. So if you are working for a company that has strict branding guidelines, that has like certain images that you have to use no matter what, like, it's cool. Just make sure the content itself is good and entices the reader to keep coming to the next email and opening them up, right? So that's my take on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts too.
Yeah, yeah. Ren Fishkin on my event claimed that it's better to have one subscription in email list than a follower on any social media.
Mm.
Because social media can decrease engagement. Even if you have a million followers, only 10,000 of them can read your post, check out it. But with email, you have much higher chance today. For example, if you send emails, yeah, it's much higher chance that people will open this email. So, can you tell more about getting emails to your list? Provide some tactics, techniques that people can use today, companies, to get more subscribers on email list, and yeah, and how to find the best tactics that will work for you.
100%. I'll share some stuff that's worked for me, worked for some clients as well. Okay, so first tip I'll say is newsletters are the worst way to get subscribers. Like,
Mhm.
because newsletters, like, what practical value am I getting from this? It's just newsletter. Everyone has a newsletter. It's, oh, got another email in my inbox. Unless you have a very big brand and you're pretty authoritative in your space, newsletters probably work. But if you're just starting off and you write, hey, sign up for my newsletter, it's not going to convert well. That's from my experience. Unless like I think Demand Curve does something very interesting. They promote a newsletter, but on the landing page, underneath the opt-in, they have examples of content they sent to newsletters and what people replied to the newsletters with. So that you can literally see the social proof of how good the newsletter is in order to get someone to opt in. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. So basically tease people before they even opt in about what stuff is given in the newsletter, and show the results before they even opt in. So you have to like essentially sell the newsletter, even though it sounds like this newsletter is for selling itself, right? So that's one tactic. The next tactic is, this is one thing I've done in the past, is instead of being like, hey, sign up for newsletter, I said once, like sign up for my course. And it's
Mhm.
not a course that I created, but instead I basically took 3 YouTube videos from a YouTube channel, and then I sent the person a series of 3 emails with links to the YouTube videos. So I didn't create a whole course and film my stuff and everything, but instead I packaged it like a course. It still served the same effect. And what's interesting is I put on my LinkedIn headline, get my free course that'll help you achieve, like, get you a job without applying online. Because I was a career coach way back, right? And when I said free course that'll help you get this result, right? Very value driven, benefit oriented. People were like, oh my God, free course that'll help me get this. I want that. And it's weird because I would just make a LinkedIn post and I would keep getting newsletter subscribers from that. And I didn't even need to promote the newsletter. I just made LinkedIn posts because my profile got reach. People saw my headline, therefore they went to profile, and they went to the actual opt-in page, right? So those are some tactics that work really well for me. The idea here is to imply a large amount of value up front to get someone to subscribe to your list. That's the
Mhm.
fundamental rule. The more value you can provide, that's pretty much catered to your audience, the more likely someone's going to opt in. So in any
Mhm.
way you can do that, that's the best.
Yeah, love it. Let's, I want to help more the second type of my audience, because I have, I can segment. We use this terminology in email marketing, segmentation. Yeah, when we can segment our email list, and I can segment my audience to website owners and students who wanna jump on this field. Can you help them how to learn more about email marketing today? What kind of future are you expecting with email marketing? Do we need to learn today, because probably metaverse or other techniques will kill email marketing soon? So provide more insights about that, because I often see when someone proclaims SEO is dead, email marketing is dead, everything is dead. I don't know how to go ahead with that. Metaverse will overcome everything. What do you think? Is it a good idea to learn today about email marketing, or it's too late? And what kind of future are you expecting with email marketing?
Yeah, oh my gosh, with Web3, meta crypto, all that stuff, who knows where the future's going? Maybe in the future it won't even be emails. It'll just be like a visual display on your eye that could just say like, hey, you have a message. You know what I mean? Who knows, right? Uh,
Yeah.
these are my thoughts right now based on my current understanding and everything. I think it's worth doubling down on email over social right now, because Facebook, Meta, they might change the whole social media game. TikTok might change the whole game. The other day my friend was complaining about the Instagram feed and how they're not seeing certain amount of posts anymore. It's so many uncontrollable variables, right? But I truly believe email will stay, because during work you use your email. You will inevitably need to use your personal email for like stuff you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to go to the bank and they need your email, you need that. It's a constant variable. It's more constant than like the TikToks and social medias and the YouTube shorts and things of that nature, right? So I think to be secure, at least have like an audience for yourself, keep the emails. And even if like the softwares, like they crash and they exit the market or whatever, you can still export a lot of the context into a Excel sheet, so you can keep the Excel sheet as like your baby and take it around with you. So as like a safety cushion or an insurance for the future with this whole Web3 thing coming out, I still think email is definitely something to not sleep on. I'm not sure how email will be transformed with Web3. Maybe lead magnets will now be NFTs, and instead of like discounts, people are going to offer crypto in the future. Who knows, right? But those
Yeah.
are just my thoughts.
Yeah, I think, guys, I want to tell my opinion about that.
Hmm.
Today, email marketing works well and it's growing. And it will not be dropped in one day, just email marketing disappeared. It takes time. You can see how the industry works, to check out if it's growing, it's growing. If it's diminishing, you still have a lot of time, like many years, to keep going on this field. So that's why I'm not sure it's a good idea to criticize something that works and growing. But when we can see that metaverse or any other stuff that will come, that's great. To have it, we can adapt our technologies. We can think how we can change something, because digital marketing is a quickly changing field. So that's okay, to learn more about that. But I think we need to adapt. Just it, if it works, it works. When new text will come, we can adapt. And even I remember when someone asked Gary Vee about TikTok. When TikTok, do we need to promote our brands on TikTok, because it probably will be banned in the US? And he replied, you get experience on TikTok, even if it's banned, you can use this experience with other social media. That's it, Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, can you tell
Love it.
the last question? How to learn email marketing today? Lead our audience in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, the way I learned email marketing was this blog. It's called Copy Hackers. It's very focused on copywriting, which I think should be learned first before email. Okay, that's a blog that you can use. First, I actually recommend you learn copywriting first and then email, because copywriting, in my opinion, is fundamental of all like digital marketing. No matter how many ads you run or how many people you send to a landing page, if the words don't say the right things, then it's probably not going to convert, right? So check out Copy Hackers. They have some really good stuff on email marketing as well. If you want to get to learn like the technical automation sequences and like tactics and workflows and all that stuff, that in my opinion comes from practical experience. So I've learned the most about email marketing doing it rather than just learning it. If you learn about a 6-part nurture sequence and you read a blog about it, cool. But it's another thing to go on like ConvertKit and create an actual workflow and write a subject line and then make sure when this happens, this automation is sent. And then doing that requires a lot of practical experience. So if I were you, if you want to learn email marketing, learn copywriting from Copy Hackers, and then literally just start your own email list and just start having fun and experimenting out, and hopefully you start liking the process, and then therefore you'll get better and better. That's, in my opinion, how to learn it.
100%, 100%. I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah, just practice, because it's the same like to read the book about how to play soccer. If you actually don't play, it doesn't matter how many books you can read. 100 books without playing, you can't get any results. It's the same like to read the book how to write. If you don't write, you can't get results.
How to write. Okay.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Or how to improve writing. Yeah. So I often see when people overlearn without practicing. I think it's better to overact than overlearn. It's my opinion. Yeah. That's why
totally.
I usually I like learning, but I prefer acting more than learning.
I totally agree.
Thanks a lot, Alif, for taking part in my podcast. The second time, you joined the second time club.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's a big pleasure. Anytime, welcome back. I love your sharing about email marketing. I love this industry. I get a bunch of questions about that. Tell our audience how they can reach out to you, learn more about you, follow you.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? So if you like what I talk about, you like my hairstyle or whatever it might be, you can find me on LinkedIn, Alif Huq. My name is right here. So you can just plug that in LinkedIn and just follow me, and we'll take it away from there.
Okay, guys, you can find all these links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. Thanks again for your time. A big pleasure. Always love learning something new about email marketing, because I pay attention to other marketing channels. But, we need to consider this channel for any marketing channels, because if you have no multi-channel approach, I'm not sure it's a good idea to go ahead. Because some channels can decrease. So, it's better to have this balance.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was always a good time being on the podcast. Hopefully round 3 comes soon.